Okay, for the last few videos, I'm going to put things or show the different contexts that the question can come up in. So it's going to mix together a few different skills. Actually, probably easier than what we've just done, that last horrible question with all the fractions. But it's just to kind of get you to understand what could be thrown at you. Okay, so function f is defined as a set of real numbers. Okay, the rate of change is this. So the rate of change, remember we said before, dy by dx. That's what that's saying. Dy by dx is equal to 3x squared, take away 16x plus 1, 11. So you should be thinking, maybe it's a differentiation question. Fair enough. But as long as you know the rate of change, slope, all that kind of stuff, is all about a differentiated function. Okay, and it's telling the graph of y is equal to f of x crosses the x-axis at 7, 0. Okay, so f of x, the function crosses 7, 0. Okay, I'll keep that in my memory banks for later on. Express that in terms of x. Okay, so this right now, it's not y equals, it's dy by dx equals. So if I want to get to y equals, I need to integrate my function. So that's what the question's asking. It's the opposite of differentiation is integration. So to get from here to go back would give me a y. Yeah. So I'm integrating that with respect to x. So add 1 and divide, so it'll be x cubed. Take away x squared, 16 divided by 2 is 8, plus 11x plus c. So that's what your y is in this case. Okay. If I integrate this, I've now got y. And the reason they told us this point is because I need this point to work out what c is. So if I substitute in y is 0, x is 7 cubed, take away 8, 7 squared, plus 11 times 7 plus c. Oof, so let's go for that. So 7 cubed, oh, that's a big one. So 7 sevens are 49, times that by 7. So that'll be 63. And 7 4 is 28, and 6 would be 34. Okay, so big number, 0. So 3, 4, 3. And 8 times 49, that one there. So 8 nines are 72. 8 times 4, 32. So 39, 392. Okay, plus 77 plus c. Oh, big numbers, big numbers. So I'm going to add those two together. That'll make my life a bit easier, I think. Yeah. So I've got 10, I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I've then got 4. So I've got 420, which is these two. I'm going to take away 392. So borrow, going to be 8, borrow again, it's going to be 2, and 0, so 28. Yeah, fair enough. So 0 is equal to 28 plus c, which means that c has to be equal to negative 28. Yes. Ta-da! So the final line would just be to say that y is equal to x cubed, take away ax squared, plus 11x, take away 28. So that one was actually a slightly different skill that we've not really covered, which is, working out the c value from a point. But to me, the thing that you'll struggle with maybe is recognizing the question. So it's giving you the differential, and you now need to go and solve. You'll go backwards to work out what you started life off with. Okay, so that's one way it could get dressed up. The other way is we've got polynomials. Yeah, so remember your polynomials here? Right, the roots are what's inside the brackets, remember that? So let's have a wee look through this question then. So show that's a factor. Okay. I'll put this on the side actually. So for that one, you need to do synthetic division. So I've got 2, negative 9, I've got 3, and I've got 14. So if that is a factor, I'm going to put in negative 1, and I should get 0 out. So pull the 2 down, negative 2, add them, multiply them, add them, multiply them, add them. Fantastic. So make sure you'd have to write, therefore, x plus 1 is a factor as the remainder is equal to 0. So make sure you state something along those lines. And what that means is, if I say solve, I've now got x plus 1. I've got y equals x plus 1, and this is 2x squared take away 11x plus 14. So I would now have to factorise this to get the other root. So x plus 1, that means that in there, that's your negative 1, isn't it? If that's the bracket, the actual root is negative 1. So we're trying to find these two roots in here. So let's solve this then. So add to give me this, multiply to give me these two times together, 28. So factor 28. Oh, there we go, yeah, 4 and 7, that's the one. So it must be, so 2x squared, take away 7x, take away 2 negatives, plus 14. And we're at canny actually, I'm going to just switch them round. So the common factor will make it easier if I've got the 4 next to the 2 and the 7 next to the 14. So common factor, 2, sorry, 2x. Take away 2, and I'll rewrite that bracket, and in front of it, I'm going to need to put negative 7. So that makes sense. These give me this, and that give me that. That's good. And then put those two together. So 2x take away 7, and I'll put that with that, and x take away 2. So my final answer is going to be y. It's x plus 1, 2x take away 7, and x take away 2. That's the fully factorized version, and solving it, I'm saying it's equal to 0. When is it equal to 0? It's equal to 0 when any one of these brackets equals 0, and that would be the roots of the equation. So for that, x would be equal to 1, x would be equal to, sorry, negative 1, x would be equal to 2, so that's maybe 2 over there. And then this one would be x is equal to 7 over 2, so 7 halves, yeah, because that's equal to 0. So 7 halves would be 3.5, so yeah, that would be over there, 3.5. Yes, fantastic. So it's getting you to work out your roots, so then when you come to integrate, calculate the shaded area, you need to know to use these points. If you never got the first bit, make up some nice points. You know, make up, this will be a negative number, that'll be a positive. So you could probably have looked at it and said, 3 and negative 1 or something, So now we'll substitute that in to work out our, write down the coordinates, we've already got that, we've got these points here, and then calculate the area, so we just integrate. So let's have a look then. I'm going to integrate into negative 1, and the equation is so just to save some time, because the video is going to cut out, I'll do this bit and then I'll pause it and I'll just give you the solution for the last bit. Okay. So add and divide. So x to the 4, 2 divided by 4 would be a half. 9 divided by 3 would be 3. Doing that between 2 and negative 1. So add 1 and divide each time. Add 1 and divide. Yeah, that was right. So I'll just do the next bit. I'll pause and you try the next bit and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so yeah, that's your first line with your substitution. And then your second, that would come out quite nice, just 18. And what's your double negative here? 18 divided by 2, put it into halves, so end up with 9. 27 is your final answer. But yeah, this isn't anything new. To me, the interesting bit was, oh, wait a minute, this is a polynomial question. And then it turns into a bit of integration. So remember, your roots are related to the brackets from your synthetic division. And that's your limits, which you'll be using in your integration. Very good. And yeah, I think we'll call it a day there. I might get around to doing, I'll do this question in the next video, and then we'll call it a day. Okay.